Right then, Spurs faithful, brace yourselves because the bombshell I'm about to drop could completely transform our midfield come January. We're talking about a 28-year-old Portuguese midfielder who could arrive for an absolute bargain. And listen, these opportunities don't come knocking every day, but there's a catch that could scupper the whole thing. Stay with me till the end because I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening behind the scenes, why this matters so much for our Spurs, and give you my honest take on this deal as both an analyst and a lifelong Tottenham supporter. Subscribe to the channel and smash that like button because this news is absolutely mental. Tottenham are actively pursuing the 28-year-old Portuguese midfielder currently at Al Hilal, and here's the kicker: he could be available for just €20 million, roughly £17.5 million, when the January window opens. Tottenham took the hard tackle. Now let me put this into proper context. This is a player who left Wolves for £47 million back in 2023, and we're potentially talking about landing him for less than 40% of that fee. The reason? His contract with Al Hilal expires at the end of this season, and the Saudi club would rather take some money now than lose him on a free transfer in the summer. That's business, and we should absolutely capitalize on it. But here's where the waters get murky, and trust me, this is going to be the defining factor of whether this deal happens or not. We're not alone in this pursuit. Manchester United and Newcastle United are also heavily involved, with all three clubs having already made direct contact with Neves representatives about a potential January move. The hard tackle. This is a proper Premier League battle, and each club brings something different to the table. United have the Ruben Amorim Portuguese connection now. Newcastle have Saudi ownership ties through PIF that could smooth negotiations. But we have London, a talented squad on the rise, and a clear pathway to regular first-team football in a system that could maximize his abilities. If you like watching this video, join the Spurs family by hitting that subscribe button. Let's reach 900 subscribers and keep the Tottenham spirit alive and kicking. Now, let's talk about what Ruben Neves would actually bring to N17, because this isn't just about a name, it's about what he does on the pitch. This is a player with 253 Premier League appearances for Wolves under his belt. The hard tackle. He knows the league inside out. He's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. He's a deep-lying playmaker who can dictate tempo from the base of midfield, break defensive lines with his passing range, and let's not forget he's got one of the sweetest left feet in football. Those trademark long-range strikes, they're real, and they're spectacular. But here comes the elephant in the room, the part that could kill this deal before it ever gets off the ground. Neves is currently earning a staggering £410,000 per week at Al Hilal, and that astronomical wage packet is simply too expensive for most European clubs to handle, including Premier League sides. Tottenham took the hard tackle. That's £21.3 million per year just in wages. To put that in perspective, that would make him comfortably our highest paid player, potentially disrupting our entire wage structure. And here's the reality check. Sources suggest Turkey might actually be the most likely destination, with Galatasaray and Fenerbahce both circling and potentially willing to match those Saudi wages. The people's person. Here's where I need to give you my honest opinion as a Spurs fan. This is a deal that makes incredible sense on paper from a footballing perspective, but it's walking a financial tightrope that could go either way. Let me explain why I'm torn on this one. The case for signing Neves. First, let's address the obvious. Our midfield situation is genuinely uncertain right now, with both Bissouma and Bentancur facing potential exits due to their contract situations entering the final year, and sources confirming that Bissouma is expected to leave this summer. Score USA Soccer base. That's not speculation anymore. That's insider information pointing to a legitimate midfield rebuild. If we're losing one or both of those players, we need a proven Premier League midfielder who can step in immediately without a bedding-in period. Neves offers something we desperately lack: experience and composure under pressure. He's won the Nations League with Portugal in both 2019 and 2025. The hard tackle. So he knows what it takes to win at the highest level. At 28 years old, he's entering his absolute prime years for a midfielder, that sweet spot where physical capability meets tactical intelligence and maturity. This isn't a gamble on potential, this is buying proven quality at a discounted rate. From a tactical standpoint, Neves would be a dream fit for what we need. He's versatile enough to play as a holding midfielder or push slightly higher as a deep-lying playmaker. His long-range passing would immediately add a new dimension to our build-up play, something we've genuinely struggled with this season when teams press us high. Our current options like Bissouma have reliability issues under pressure, with higher unsuccessful touch rates compared to Bentancur. ESPN. And while Sub brings energy, he's not naturally a creative passer from deep positions. Imagine Neves sitting at the base of our midfield, spraying 40-yard passes to switch the play, hitting our wingers in stride, and occasionally unleashing one of those thunderbolt strikes from 25 yards out. That's not fantasy, that's literally what he's built his career on. And at £17.5 million in transfer fee, that's an absolute steal in today's market. We paid £30 million for Bissouma. We paid £25 million for Bentancur. Getting Neves for £17.5 million is phenomenal business from a pure transfer fee perspective. Now here's where my analyst brain kicks in and starts throwing up red flags. That £410,000 per week wage is a massive problem, and anyone who tells you otherwise is being naive about how football clubs operate. Let's do some quick math. Even if Neves agrees to take a 50% pay cut, which would be enormous, we're still talking about £205,000 per week. That's still top bracket money at our club. Here's my biggest concern. What message does this send to our existing players and our wage structure philosophy? If we break the bank for Neves, what happens when players like Sarr, Kulusevski, or our other key players come looking for new contracts? What happens when their agents point to Neves' deal and say, "Why should my client accept less?" This is how wage inflation starts, and it's a slippery slope that can cripple a club's finances for years. There's also the question of hunger and motivation. Neves left the Premier League for a massive payday in Saudi Arabia. That was his choice. Now he wants to come back. But is he willing to actually take a significant financial step backwards to do it? Or is this just about finding the best possible deal among European clubs? The Turkish interest from clubs willing to match his current wages suggests money might still be a priority factor, the people's person. And let's be brutally honest about his time in Saudi Arabia. We haven't exactly seen him dominating against top-level competition week in, week out. The Saudi Pro League is improving, but it's not the Premier League. Will he still have that edge, that sharpness, that hunger after 18 months of relatively comfortable football in the desert? These are legitimate questions. Look, as a Tottenham fan, my heart says yes, absolutely go for it. We need experience, we need quality, and we need someone who understands what Premier League football demands. At that transfer fee, it's low risk from a financial outlay perspective. If Daniel Levy and our recruitment team can structure a deal where the base salary is reasonable, let's say £150,000 to £180,000 per week, with significant performance-based bonuses that could take it higher if he delivers, then I'm all for it. That protects our wage structure while still giving Neves the opportunity to earn big money if he performs. But if the wage demands are non-negotiable and he's insisting on something close to his Al Hilal package, then I think we need to walk away. As much as I'd love to see Neves in a Spurs shirt, we cannot compromise our long-term financial health for one signing, no matter how talented. That's not how sustainable success is built. The competition factor is real. Manchester United and Newcastle have both made contact already, the hard tackle, and they might be willing to stretch their budgets further than we can or should. But here's what we can offer that they can't: a clear starting role, a system that would highlight his strengths, London as a destination, and a young, exciting squad that's genuinely building something special under the right management structure. We need to be smart. We need to make our pitch, structure a fair offer that respects both his quality and our wage structure, and then we need to be prepared to walk away if it doesn't make financial sense. There will be other midfielders. There will be other opportunities. But if we can find that sweet spot where the numbers work for everyone, then this could be one of those signings we look back on as an absolute masterstroke. The next few weeks are critical. January is approaching fast, and if we're serious about challenging for top 4 and competing in Europe, we need to strengthen intelligent. Neves represents both opportunity and risk. The question is whether we can manage that risk while seizing the opportunity. Keep your eyes on this situation, because it's going to develop quickly once the window opens. Sources have confirmed contact has already been made, which means this is real, it's active, and it's happening. The question isn't whether we're interested, it's whether we can actually get it done on terms that make sense for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Now, here's my question for you. As a Spurs fan, would you be willing to accept Ruben Neves on wages of around £200,000 per week, which would make him one of our highest earners, knowing his quality but also the risks involved? Or do you think we should stick to our wage structure principles and look for a younger, hungrier option even if they lack his experience? I genuinely want to hear your thoughts on this because it's not a straightforward decision. Drop your comments below. Let's have a real discussion about what's best for our club. And if you want to stay ahead of every single development in this transfer saga, because trust me, there's going to be plenty of twists and turns, then you need to subscribe to this channel right now. Smash that like button and hit the notification bell. We're your fastest, most reliable source for Tottenham news, and we're bringing you the insider information you won't find anywhere else. This is where the real Spurs fans come for the truth, delivered straight, no fluff. Come on, you Spurs.